Hello and welcome to Success Tips Global. It's Monday, May the 1st in Hawaii and Tuesday, May the 2nd, 2023 in Japan. It's a great pleasure to speak with Hawaii-based businessman, Mr. Jason Sheridan. Welcome to Success Tips Global.
Thank you for having me.
Well, everybody wants to live in Hawaii and you are there. Please describe the environment in which you're living these days.
I live over by Eva Beach, and it's kind of quiet. It's an up-and-coming neighborhood. All the houses are new.
Mm.
A lot of energy. It's beautiful during the day and cool at night. It's not like Waikiki, which is loud. So I
Okay.
like it here.
And when did you decide to move to Hawaii?
When the pandemic hit.
Okay.
I was in St. Louis at the time, and since we were all made to work from home, I said, why don't I just go to Hawaii? I already had
Wow.
a house. I already had a house here for a couple of
Mm.
years.
Okay. Okay. And did it meet your expectations?
Living in Hawaii, yeah,
Yeah.
very happy about it.
Okay. Now let's get to know a little bit about your background. You mentioned St. Louis. Is that where you grew up?
Oh, no. I was there because of work.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So originally, when I moved back from Japan, I moved to Massachusetts, to to work at the headquarters for the company I worked at the time.
Okay.
And then I changed group, and the head of the group was based in St. Louis. So I said, Massachusetts, St. Louis, there was no difference to me.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so I want us to actually go back to your childhood. Where in the US did you grow up?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay, how come?
When I was young, I mainly grew up in New Jersey, but mm, my mother moved us out to Pennsylvania, then Indiana. Um, so then afterwards, I moved back to my father's in uh, New Jersey.
Okay. And if I remember correctly, was your father a businessman or he had his own company? Is that right?
Yeah, yes, he owned a commercial roofing company.
Okay. And what did you learn by being around somebody who had his own business like that?
Uh, you have to work for what you want. There's no easy road. It takes hard working smart to get the
Mm.
things you want in life.
Mm. And how important was education in your childhood?
Uh, well, my father comes back. He was from Great Depression baby, so hard work to him was more important than education. So during my childhood, it wasn't so important. It wasn't in. Um, I didn't realize how important it was until I started doing commercial roofing
Mm.
and realized that I wanted to use my brain instead of my back.
Okay. So then what did you do?
Uh, well, I have scoliosis, so what that means is I have a back problem.
Okay.
And realized right away that I can't do heavy or manual labor.
Mm.
So I realized I needed to make a change, and I went back to college.
Okay. And what did you study then?
Um, I went to computer school, DeVry University, started out telecommunications, and then they changed it to computer networking, and then I double majored in CIS, computer
Okay.
information systems.
Okay. And how did you end up in Japan?
Uh, Long story. So I met my wife, who's Japanese, in New York City, where I was living
Okay.
at the time. And at that, I think after we were married and sometime after that, she developed cancer.
Oh,
So going to Japan was better for the health system than
okay.
US, obviously.
Mm.
So we decided to move everything to Japan because of that.
So how long were you in Japan for?
About 7 years.
Oh, okay, okay. And while you were in Japan, what did you do?
So it kind of goes back to my education. My first 2 degrees were associates, and then I started going to Pace University in New York
Okay.
for my bachelor's. But I didn't finish because I was working days and going at night for it. So when I went to Japan, I was able to finish that degree while in Japan.
Okay.
I could only stay with my company for 1 year after that. So basically, we parted ways about a year after I moved to Japan.
Mm.
Um, then that's how I met you. I started
Right.
teaching English for a while, and then I went to Temple University, which had a sister school in Tokyo,
Okay.
and got my MBA.
How was the program at Temple? How did you find it?
I mean, basically online. I looked for any American schools that were located in Tokyo.
Okay.
Temple was only one from America, basically.
Right. Okay. And then from there, you decided to go back to the US.
Actually, no. After I graduated, I started working for Merck KGA,
Okay.
a life science company.
Okay.
And then during that time, I moved around a lot, but because of changes, I became a business controller,
Okay.
and my manager was located in US, so they asked if I would move to back to the US, to work.
And can you explain a little bit what does a business controller do?
Control costs.
Okay.
Basically, but I worked in corporate other, so we controlled the costs that were outside the normal business frame.
Okay. And once you returned to the US, what happened? Were you with the same company then, or did you join another company?
Oh
Please
no,
talk a little bit about that.
I was with Merck the whole time. But in the United States, it's known as Millipore Sigma, and
Okay.
actually before that it was EMD
Mm,
Millipore. Um, so anywhere but the United States, it's Merck KGA, but it has to change it. So kind of on my profile, it looks like I work at 2 different companies, but it's the same
right.
company.
Okay. And now that you're in Hawaii, what do you do for fun?
For fun, I
Yeah.
work. Work. Nah,
You're not
um,
surfing?
I surf, and then I also golf. I golf more than I
Okay.
surf. So
Okay. Now, what advice would you give to young people who are not sure about what they want to do with their lives?
stay at home as long as possible.
Okay, and why is that?
Depend on your parents until you figured it all out. I would say hard work.
Yeah.
You gotta grow up fast and realize that the people that do take care of you aren't going to be around forever.
Mm,
So enjoy it while it lasts, and appreciate those that are that help you,
mm,
and keep learning.
mm.
And because learning is not something that stops after school.
Right.
It's something that you need to do for the rest of your life.
Mm, mm,
And it walks hand in hand with not just your work life, but your personal life. So
mm,
it's the journey, not the destination.
mm. And what are some of your goals for the near future?
I just started with a new company at the new year.
Mm,
So my goals is to get up to speed as fast as possible with the new company. Um, uh, I also own property in Hawaii, so that I rent out. So part of that goal, my retirement goal, is to own as many properties as possible
mm.
and rental properties.
And how did you get into the property business?
I always knew about it. I mean, working in construction, a lot of our clients were real estate managers.
Okay.
So they introduced me to that industry in
Mm,
general. Um, Part of me doing construction for long with my father taught me how to use a hammer and nail.
mm,
So doing my own renovations while owning my properties, I think are very complementary.
mm,
So I save a lot of money on doing it myself.
mm, mm. Great. Okay, those are all my questions. But is there any final message? Is there something that I didn't ask you that you want to talk about?
Um, well, I would say that the the thing that the biggest thing for me in life was that my father was at the end, while I was young and he was old, and his business was going downhill. Um, so my point is that even though you start at the bottom,
Mm,
you can work your way to the top
mm, mm.
if you work hard enough for it and
Yeah.
you sacrifice, because sacrifice is part of the journey.
Mm,
You just everything's not going to get handed to you, and I
mm.
think that you need to keep your eye on the ball but enjoy life as you go, because it's very hard. It's very easy to forget one or the other.
So hard work and education have served you well.
Yes, yes. But
Thank you
that's
so much for taking the time. Yeah.
my pleasure.
Okay. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks. Bye bye.